I just saw the movie Horizon, An American Saga Part 1. And I'm super excited to see Part 2 to see how the story continues. In short, I was super impressed and I thought it was incredibly epic. The question my wife asked me right after I saw it was if both sides were portrayed fairly or if they made one side look better than the other, like speaking of uh, like the white people and the Native Americans. And I think the movie actually portrayed both sides very fairly. I think um, there were like settlers who were friendly and settlers who wanted to do genocide. And then I think there were like Apaches who wanted to be friends. And then there were Apaches who, like a lot of the young warriors, wanted to go out and make a name for themselves and do war. So I think you see a lot of perspectives on both sides. So just getting that right out of the way, because that was the first question my wife had that she asked me, and I thought it was pretty awesomely portrayed, or at least fairly portrayed. It felt accurate and fair, but it was super brutal on both sides. I just kept thinking of two movies during this movie, Hostiles and Open Range. I would say Hostiles is a lot, I don't know if it's a lot more disturbingly violent, or maybe I've just got more desensitized since I saw Hostiles, but I feel like Hostiles is more disturbing to me. But it's still quite brutal and violent. And then as far as Open Range goes, Open Range is just a super good Kevin Costner Western movie that everybody should see. And I wish would get a 4K Blu-ray. But the cast to, I want to say An American Horizon, but it's Horizon, An American Story Part 1. The cast is incredible. Sam Worthington, Luke Wilson, Kevin Costner, Jenna Malone, Sienna Miller, and trying to think if I'm missing any of the big ones, but everybody did a super good job. Like, it was very, like, it kind of is like a, I don't want to say like a montage, but it's like a whole bunch of short stories that are woven together, or I guess long stories broken apart and woven together. And so it covers many different settings, like Kansas and Wyoming and Montana, and it looks like it's all kind of coming together. So it was really cool as it kept cutting to the different stories in different parts of the West, and just how, like, the struggles people are going through, and like I just found myself invested in all of the different stories. And so every time it switched to a different story, I was like, oh, it's this one again. Like, I'm super interested to see what happens. And like, there's things that are so brutal and sad and like disappointing. It's just like heartbreaking. But then there's other of the stories that are very hopeful, that have you like, I was swooning for some people getting together. But yeah, it's just a combination of a whole bunch of different stories told very well and very beautifully and very epically. The music was so cool. Like, there's like like guitar, like old Western guitar, big orchestration, and then there was like a lot of cool like war drums, like anytime there was like action, but also the like music that it would play around the Native American scenes were also very cool and felt authentic, or at least the music fit the mood. Based on what some other people said, I thought it was going to be more like gory and violent. It wasn't as gory as I was expecting. And then based on the rating where it said there was nudity and sexuality, I was like, I was a little, I guess, hesitant or whatever about that. And the nudity part, I thought, like, I know people are like, it's art, and it's like, it just feels like exhibitionism sometimes. Like, I get it in the context of the story, what they were showing, but I think you can tell that exact moment without having it on screen. So I think that's a little disappointing. But it was pretty minimal. You can look on the IMDb under the parental setting to see more details on that. And then the sexuality part was just exactly what they show in the preview, but just longer on that part. And again, same kind of thing. You could show basically what's enough in the preview and then just have it be implied. So a little disappointing there, but overall, I really, really liked it. I thought, now it's hard to judge it without seeing part 2, because I feel like a lot of the stories have just been started. Like, I feel like I've just seen act 1 and 2, or act 1 of a lot of these people's story, which makes sense because it's supposed to be 4 parts. So hopefully a lot of people go see this so that the rest of the parts can get funded. So if you do go see it, you should definitely go see it on like the absolute biggest, nicest screen possible because it's super epic. But it is a very long movie. Now, as far as the length goes, like I didn't feel like the length hurt the movie at all. It's 3 hours and 1 minute and plus previews. So I felt like I was definitely sitting in there for a long time. And about halfway through, like I had a large Coke. Like I had to go. It's the kind of movie you need to bring like a bottle to pee into or catheter yourself or something. It was long. My buddy that I went with did get up to go during, and he didn't miss. Like I kind of just told him what he missed, but long movie. So definitely do a road trip pee before you go in. But I 100% recommend it. I'm incredibly excited for part 2 in August. I'm absolutely going to be there, and I hope it makes enough money that the rest gets made because I'm super interested in all the characters. And yeah, just the action was cool too. Very brutal and heartbreaking though, but I felt like it felt authentic. So anyway, I really liked it and highly recommend it. Okay, so I'm going to just talk, not spoilers, but just the format of the movie in a certain part. So give you about 5-second warning. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so at the end of the movie, it seems like the story proper ends. Not really, it just kind of stops. But then it goes into like a super fast montage of like the story's progressing even further. Be quiet, babe. The story's progressing even further, where the montage is going so incredibly fast that I think it was just kind of a veiled preview for the second part. Like, let me know what you think, if that's what that was, but the montage was going so fast and progressing the story so fast that I think it was just a preview without actually being a preview. I wish they would have done it like Back to the Future 2, where at the end of Back to the Future 2, it's like, okay, this story's over, but now we're going to show you a montage of part 3 and kind of label it as such. So it was a little bit jarring that one of the stories just kind of hit like a breaking point and then it just went on this like ultra fast montage. So that would be my only, like, I guess, complaint. But it was good. You should see it and then let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Bye.